Thank you so much. I'm super excited that we have so many individuals that are on the line that believe in the power of home ownership. Again, my name is Nicole Wheatley, and I'm with Exit Strategy Realty. I want to tell you a little bit about the work that we do and how you work very well with a realtor to help get them through the process, okay? So let's move right on along. Just to tell you a little bit about Exit Strategy, this organization was founded back in 1996, so it may be a newer type of organization. However, they have the most inspiring, motivating, and just thinking outside of the box type of individuals that run and manage this corporation. They have grown exponentially and have also helped to be at the top with some of those organizations that have been out there for over 50 years. So the organization is providing premier services. I want to talk to you a little bit about the home buying process. And I want to try to break it down into 9 easy steps, right? Because when you're working with a realtor and going through this process, a realtor is just one person that you touch. And I tell you, there is a multitude of individuals that's a part of every single real estate transaction. And one of them you're going to get to work with that I work very closely with. He's a phenomenal inspector, Mr. Perry Brown. He's going to be coming up shortly. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. But there's so many people that you're working with in this process. You're working with first your HUD counseling agency. So that organization, you first working with My Turn to Own, because they're the marketers, they're promoting, they believe in home ownership. They're going out as the voice in the community saying, please stop renting. There's no growth in that. Build a legacy of love and build financial wealth by investing into real estate, right? And then you have your HUD counseling agency, because you got to get connected with them right away. And you go through your process of getting your HUD certification, and also, most importantly, learning the information that's going to help you gain success throughout this process. So you got that person, right? Then you're choosing a realtor. You want to choose someone that is going to be on your side, that knows the power of negotiation, a person who is going to be able to put everything first for their client to help them get to the finish line quickly and swiftly, right? Then you're working with your lender partner. Your lender has got to be able to have it a win-win situation. Don't just think that when you're in a relationship with the lender, oh my God, I'm in a relationship with this lender, I'm so blessed, they want to give me some money. No. They make a ton of money off of your money. And it is okay for that to be looked at as a win-win situation, right? And so that lender that you're working with also have partners within the financial institution. They have an underwriter that underwrites your loan, right? So those people are all engaged. Then you have an inspector, you have an appraiser, you have an attorney. Listen, and I haven't even gotten to the closing agency and the title company. But I want to tell you, for every single real estate deal that you see happen, it took anywhere from 10 to 12 individuals to work collectively, cohesively, to ensure your success at owning a home. Don't let that process intimidate you. Just be educated to know everyone's role. And then that helps you to be able to easily and effortlessly move through this process. So let's go right into step 1. After you have gone and worked with your HUD counselor, you're going to go right into, if you're prepared at that time to be pre-approved, then we will send you to a financial partner, right? We don't go and take you to see homes without a pre-approval. Why is that? We don't know what you're approved for. So you could be outside searching on Zillow and Redfin. Oh, I want to see this, I want to see that. But we don't even know the amount. So we got to get a pre-approval. The pre-approval consists of them pulling together your affordability. So they're looking at the fact of whatever your mortgage amount is going to be. You have to have insurance for your home and property taxes. So when they give an estimate, right? Okay, I believe that this person might be eligible for $200,000. I'm going to put their taxes no more than $3,000 annually. So everybody pays property taxes, right? And so they divide it up by 12 and say, okay, this person can afford 3,000. And then if it's a single family home, they might put you at insurance at about $100 a month, right? So then they'll do a calculation and say to you, okay, this person is pre-approved for $200,000. And this is what I put in for their insurance. This is what I put in for their property taxes, okay? I'm gonna just leave that right there, although I'm gonna come back to that and explain that in a little bit more details. So once you get this pre-approval, then we start going into a system. We go into a system at this point to start looking for stuff for you. But your step two, in this case, it might be your step one because you find a realtor already. These steps are interchangeable. Sometimes a person finds a realtor and then they help them get a pre-approval. We do that a lot because they may come to us. They know we do work from marketing and advertising, right? Step one and step two, they're interchangeable. It's okay for you to go either direction. But when you find the right realtor, you want to find someone who understands your desires, what you want. That's important. I want to know, do you want a house? Do you want a condo? Do you want a building? And if so, how many bedrooms do you want? How many bathrooms are important to you? Do you have to have a garage? You know, we got to dig. And most importantly, what area do you want to live in? I want to tell you, you want to narrow down where you want to live at, right? Have some ideas. People that start off just say, okay, Chicago, you know, Chicago is a big city. It's actually extremely big. But if you start narrowing down, driving around the neighborhoods, being proactive and saying, where can I see myself at? Where do I vision myself being, right? You could go down some of those blocks and say, wow, okay, Auburn Gresham, that's a great community. Let me go over there and take a look. You know what? I know what the news told me about Inglewood, but I'm gonna go drive by there anyway. You will be surprised about the individuals that are living on the blocks in Inglewood. It has changed dramatically. As a matter of fact, there's a Whole Foods. I go driving there all the time. To go to Whole Foods, that's right over there. And all the other wonderful things that they are built in that neighborhood, from beautiful cafes, great housing, greystones. And so all this stuff is there, and we say, be proactive, go drive around, narrow down where you want to go. And that gets us into step three. So instead of utilizing Zillow and Redfin, we go into a very intelligent system. It's called the Multilisting service system. And in this system, we are able to break down in every single way. We could build out even a small map directly to where you want to be. Because if you say, well, you know what? I got boundaries. I want to go from 95th Street to 87th, from State to Western. That's the pocket I want to be in. I'm able to go into this system and actually build out a map specifically for that. That every single time a search comes up, anything close to what you want, I can have that email shot out to you, right? The other way too, which is a new app that's out, is called HomeSnap. You can only sign up with one agent at a time. But this app is so amazing. First of all, it filters through everything that's new that's just coming to you. Now, in the MLS system, I have to go in and do searches and build out searches for you, right? But in this system, it's a quick, easy app. I can say to you, hey, you know what? Join me on HomeSnap. And then I can snap you things right to your phone. You'll get a text message saying, oh, Nicole just sent you something. You go right onto your phone, take a look at it. Oh, I love this, or I hate it, or whatever it is. We can, send each other notes back and forth. What I love about this one is in the evening hours, or sometime when you're working late, we can home snap each other. If a person, you're resting, you got your family with you, you can home snap. You're not going to hear any noise. Or if I'm up late, I can home snap you all night long, and you can see this stuff when you wake up in the morning without me disturbing you or making a phone call, right? So these things are high technology to help us stay on top of getting you into your home fast, because it's a very competitive process right now in purchasing, because it's a seller's market. And that doesn't mean don't go out and find a home. That doesn't mean that. It means to be more specific and write down your vision of what you want your home to look like and where you would really like your home to be, so that when you come and meet with a realtor, you are prepared and say, you know what, this is really where I want to be. One of my clients, she might even be on the phone today, she said, look, Nicole, I want to be on the west side. I love this area. She was very specific, so I know where to look for things at for her. And it helps me to know how to better service her, okay? So then we go right into step 4. We start the home search, which is absolutely fun. I love to see 3, 4, 5, I will even go out to 6, 7, 8 homes in a day. But the more, the merrier, especially when you're first getting started, so that you can understand what you really want, right? And where you really want to be. So we'll get out, take a trip, go and look at the places. Most times you don't just say, I want to go see that one house, just this one house. I mean, not to say, I just had a client where she actually, the first house we saw, she wanted it and didn't want to go and look at anything else, and we put an offer in. We're actually waiting to see if that's going to be accepted right now. But you want to go out and observe some things, take a look at it, you know, and see. I always tell people, keep doing drive-bys, have fun with this situation. Just realize that you are on a road to success because you made a decision that most people fear and never allow to manifest because of fear. The mere fact that you are on this call today says everything about you. Even if home ownership doesn't happen for you in 30 days, 60 days, 90, 120, or 360, you are making a decision in your mind and changing your mindset to say, listen, being a renter is no longer acceptable. And I need to possess a piece of land and own so that I can be able to create a legacy of love for my family, create wealth because wealth is in real estate, and to be able to have something that I can call a place of my own. That is absolutely a phenomenal position to be in because no one can take your house away from you but you, of course, right? So moving on along, once we find 4 or 5 homes, we get you out. And now you've taken a look at those homes and you say, you know what, Nicole, this house right here, I love this house. And this, I can see myself being here. And now let's just say, right? Actually, I'm gonna give you a real scenario. I had a client, she was approved for $200,000, okay? And they had a threshold of $3,200 in taxes. We saw a house. When I'm looking for a house, I always go a little bit above your asking price and I go a little bit below it as well, right? I want to be able to give you a mixture. I don't want to just say just because you're at $200,000. Let's make sure that you're at an affordable amount with your home. Even if you got to buy a house at 150 that might need a little bit of love. Do what is comfortable for your pockets. I never want people to be overextended. You're not to be stressed getting a home, you're to feel blessed about getting that house, right? And so when you find that perfect place, and this young lady did, and so what we did was the taxes was only about $2,000, which completely worked out in her favor because the house was $220. Now, because the taxes was $1,200 less, it actually gave her more room to go up in her purchase price. Yes, your taxes play a massive role in what you're going to be able to be approved for the house that you get. And that can go up and down depending on the house. So we were able to get an offer into that house for $220. We asked for $5,000 back in closing cost credits. And we're now thrusting forward to get her closed before Christmas, okay? We are even hosting on Saturday, December the 4th, along with My Turn to Own and Far South CDC and some of our other partners, an opportunity for people to go and tour some wonderful neighborhoods and get pre-approved on the spot, just so many other things, get HUD counseling, all in person. We feed you, we take good care of you. We're raffling off TVs. I'll get there though, but that's a lot of fun that's coming up on December 4th. We will put the information to the chat before the day is over. However, going through this process, we were able to put in an offer. Now, it was a competitive process. Sometimes in her favor, we were able to look at the date that the house was placed on the market. And we know within 1 to 2 or 3 days, no one's going to negotiate that much with us because they want to see the most that they can get. But as time go on and it's 25 or 30 days or things like that, then we have more of an opportunity to go in asking for a little bit more, right? And that happens sometime very quickly. So moving right along, once we get an offer, okay, and it is accepted, meaning that they say, we're going to sign off on this contract. We accept the offer that you all gave us, which, oh, wow, I got to tell y'all this. Let me just stop for 2 seconds. One of my clients, we were out looking for a home. They have a specific thing that they want. They know they want a bungalow. They knew they wanted to be on the south side of Chicago. We found a beautiful bungalow that was really one of the best that I've seen in God knows when. It was tremendous. I knew that it was probably going to go at over $300,000, but the taxes was low on it. But my client was only comfortable with going at $285,000. Naturally, we did not get that house, and we went up $10,000 over what they were asking on the property. But I want to explain to you about that, right? When that happens, sometimes we won't sign off on a paperwork that says, oh, well, if it's $10,000 over, but it only appraised for $275,000, you got to pay me $10,000. We won't sign that paper. They do have a paper that's out there like that. And we naturally didn't sign it. Now, we didn't win the bid, but let me fast forward. We found another dynamic house, right? That was just as amazing as this home, and it was actually even cheaper. We were told last night that we had the house verbally. Well, they did not quickly turn in the paperwork to us to sign the document, the executed contract. And then when I reached out to them to ask them, where's the contract that I'm looking for it? I want to get this done fast. Someone else put in an offer way above ours, and they accepted theirs because it wasn't in writing. It was just a verbal agreement. Now, I, as a realtor, would never give someone a verbal agreement and not thrust forward with their offer. I feel like that's unfair, but it happens, and it happened. And in this market, it's happened a few times. Me speaking to other realtors have had the same kind of experience. But this is what I always tell my clients. Remember one thing. You need to find the perfect house that's in perfectly divine order for you at the perfect price, right? And if you believe that, and you keep that, when a deal doesn't go right, then you know that that was not the house for you. The next morning when I explained it to my client, I had already been conditioning her with, remember, when the door is open, it's meant for you to walk through that home. If the door gets shut for a particular reason, whatever that reason is, something better is out there for you. Well, today we found that better, right? Now, listen, this all happened in the last 72 hours. She found a place that she absolutely loved that had everything she wanted in it. And now we're moving forward with that one. So never get discouraged. Just go through the process believing that you're going to get the right one that's in order for you. As a matter of fact, I don't know but one client, and I mean one out of hundreds and hundreds, that really missed the mark on a property. And I will tell you, she's still looking 2 or 3 years later because she saw one property and she couldn't get past it. She didn't get it. She didn't move forward. We could have gotten it, but she moved forward. It was procrastination. She was really in a state of fear, not knowing that it was important. If you saw something that your heart desired and it spoke to you, don't be afraid. Make courageous, great, intelligent decisions that you feel comfortable in your heart to do. And so we haven't found a place for her yet still because of that situation, being stuck with one place, assuming, and we've seen, to me, millions of other places that were better. But never get stuck. When you get that executed contract, now you're in a relationship with them. So verbal, we could talk about it. Until they send it back to us in writing, we cannot guarantee anything. We got that in writing now. We're about to thrust forward. We're going to now get in within minutes, within days, really. We're going to be on the phone calling Perry. We're going to be calling Perry, and we're going to be asking him, hey, Perry, I need you to come out and inspect this home. Within 24 to 48 hours, you have to drop an earnest money check to them. And that is whatever we negotiated. Typically, it's $1,000. Sometime if you wanted a property a lot, and you say, listen, I'm gonna give a little bit more because I want this house. So I'm gonna show them I want this. I'm gonna give them $2,000. Remember, that money is being held for you until the day you close. It's not going anywhere, right? Unless you walk away from closing at the table, something crazy like that, right? You don't want to do that. You want to stop the wheel from turning if there's an issue. And that's why it's so important for step 6 for you to have your attorney. Your attorney is critical to protect everything with you legally. Do not do a real estate deal trying to save $500 or $600 and not get an attorney. That attorney needs to interpret all legal information, and they must keep extensions going and protect your earnest money and your interest in this property. The attorney is also going to provide an attorney review period, which is step 7. And then we're going to prepare for closing. There's a lot of other things that happen in between that process, right? But nevertheless, the most important thing is that we thrust forward into home ownership, knowing that it's your divine right to own a property. Okay, so number 9, this one is absolutely wonderful, is that once you get to the finish line and you own your own home, we love and recommend referrals, right? Because you would have now gotten into a very small minority of individuals who actually own a home. So Exit Strategy's mission is real simple. We believe in going out, building home ownership opportunities, and helping people get to the finish line so they too can possess a piece of the land and rebuild their homes and help make sure that every single desire of what they have in mind for a home is actually realized. I'm going to pause there before we bring on our next speaker just to ask if there are any questions.
Yes, we do have one question in the chat box. It says, can we only choose homes in Chicago area, or can we choose homes in the suburban area?
Shanita, that is a phenomenal question. I'm glad you posed that one. You are able to go wherever your pre-approval allows you to, right? But I want to talk to you, if I can, about the difference of the city of Chicago and the suburban areas, right? And most of the suburban areas, the taxes are high. Now, let me say something. In certain parts of the city, they're high too. Let me be very clear. If a person wants to buy a place downtown in the Gold Coast and places like that, you might find taxes at 11 or 12,000 annually. But in some of the suburban areas, regardless of a small house, it could be taxes that's almost, now you think about it, if taxes are 12,000 a year, then that you're paying $1,000 a month no matter what. That has nothing to do with your mortgage and has absolutely nothing to do with your insurance. So I just want to make people aware of that, right? So remember I said earlier, I said to you that if you go out and you get your pre-approval and they give you a threshold saying, oh, you know what? I got $3,000 here in taxes, right? So you may be able to go up to $4,000 or $5,000 in taxes if you're buying a house that's $150,000, right? Remember, because when your taxes go up, your pre-approval amount goes down. So as long as you know that, and you say, I want to be in a suburban area, this is how I do immediately. When people tell me, where do you want to live? I see someone saying something about Dalton. If you say Dalton, there's chances. Sometimes Dalton have taxes that's $4,000 and $5,000, somewhere in there, 3,500. I will go out and search in the area that you want and send you properties that's within your price range. And so I am cognizant of the fact that just because it says $200,000, if you're going somewhere where the taxes are $4,000, that I got your pre-approval amount, purchase amount goes down. So I know how to do the math. I work very closely with the lender to say, this is where they want to be. Will you approve this? And they tell us yes or no, right? And so that helps a client quickly know if they want to live in a suburban area or if they want to live in a city or where they can afford to live. That's usually where they will go. Now I see Talisha saying, my pre-approval says Dalton. Does that affect me in any way? I am not moving to Dalton. Well, if you're pre-approval wouldn't really tell you where you got to move. It only gives you an amount. So maybe I need to look at that, Talisha. But yeah, it only tells you like you're staying in the state of Illinois, right? Some places you might have to go through a different lender or a different realtor if you're moving out of the state. Okay, but we're able to service the state of Illinois, and most of all the financial institutions are as well. And that wouldn't bound you to have to live in a certain state or city. Okay, do we have any other questions before we have our next speaker?
Yes, ma'am. We have Miss Alicia. She has her hand raised.
All righty.
Yes, I wanted to know, is there any programs, seminars or anything for income property? I'm looking into income property.
So where are you looking to purchase at?
Well, basically what I'm want to do, I'm looking for like a 2-flat where I could rent out to Section A. I'm looking to take some classes in regards to Section A housing. That's what I'm asking.
Okay. Yes. So then for Section 8 housing for Chicago, all you have to do is go to the CHA website, and then they have landlord training. For anyone who wants to be new and learn about their process, you can take classes. They've been having them online, but I heard that they were going to be starting back up in person, but they are really good classes. They teach you how to do it. There's also another class. I recommend any single person that buys a multi-unit to take the landlord training class. See, if you're gonna, remember, when you buy a multi-unit property, you're not just a homeowner, you're a business owner. And you want to understand, don't try to cut out on that. Get the education so that you know exactly how to manage the work that you need to do to make sure that your building is functioning legally the way that you can to ensure that you have no legal issues with no tenants. You want to know what to do. You want to make sure that you got your leases in order, your application process, some of the systems that you go and do background checks on. You want to have those things in place, right? And let me explain something to you. When you're no longer a rent payer and you're a rent collector, you have really elevated yourself to the next level. I even advise for people who own a home to still consider getting a multi-unit property that pays for your home, right? So this is about creating wealth. And so, yes, there are 2 classes. Go on to CHA website. And I'll actually, before we go, and as we turn over to the next speaker, I'm going to throw those things in the chat. And also the landlord class information as well. Anybody thinking about buying a multi-unit, get in the landlord training class.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. Okay, I see Miss Mathis saying, will there be any more HUD classes? Yes, there is. They're on a monthly basis. I believe it will be one mid-December. And once we have that exact date and information from Far South CDC, my turn to own can forward that details out to everyone, okay? So just either shoot an email to somebody, but definitely they always send it out to let you know. Absolutely. I will put my website in the chat. I'm going to put, as soon as I turn over to the speaker, I'll put my information in the chat as well as the different things. And in the city of Chicago, they still have some grant programs. I'll throw that stuff in the chat too, just so you can take some time to read it and understand where it's at. It's usually not a whole lot of grants in the suburban area. There's a lot in the city, I guess, because they're trying to reel people back in and say, hey, come back to the city to live. And so these are some of the wonderful things that happen, and I'll throw all that stuff in the chat for you. I want to just congratulate each person for being on this call. I want to tell you that you're making the right steps. Right now, these steps are going to propel your life. You're going to be encouraged, motivated, and inspired. It is going to take you to the next level. You're going to be leveling up. You're going to be out here, win, no matter what, all that. when you do this. So whatever you do, don't ever, 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 ever quit. Thank you all so much. And I'm going to stay on the call, but I am going to turn it over to our wonderful guest right now. This guy, Perry Brown, he has a phenomenal inspection company. I do want to say that we'll have the appraiser on the next call next week because they were unable to join us this week. And I don't know if Deborah Slager joined back on the call or not. She may join on and give us some information about that shortly, but I'm going to turn it right on over to Perry now. Perry.
Hello, hello. Can everyone hear me?
Perry?
Yes, hi.
We can
How
hear
are
you.
you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nicole Wheatley, for inviting me this evening to be able to share my knowledge, my passion to whoever is listening right now. First of all, I'd like to just thank everybody for showing up and like to piggyback on Ms. Wheatley's comments. First of all, the name of my company is called Applied Ethics Home Inspection LLC. There's a wealth of information on my website. Excuse me. If you go on there and Google, I don't know how much time do I have. How much time do I have to?
You know, the call ends at 7, so try to, leave a few minutes at the end to ask questions. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right. No worries. So let's get started. First of all, I've got a lot of information on my table, but I'd like to kind of bring this one on. When it comes down to buying a home can be one of your most significant investments in life. Not only are you choosing your dwelling place and the place in which you will bring up your family, you are most likely investing a large portion of your assets into the venture. The more prepared you are on the onset, the less overwhelming and chaotic the buying process will be. The goal of this page or this presentation is to provide you with detailed information to assist you in making an intelligent and informative decision. So remember, if you have any questions after I present, then please ask. Now, one of my goal is to provide you with a thorough, accurate, and detailed written report on the condition of the home operating systems and observable structures of your property. Now, it's a variation. Okay, soon as, like Ms. Nicole said, soon as you have that contract signed, you're going to have 5 business days to get a home inspector. So the process is they should give you, more than just one home inspector to choose from. So you have to choose the home inspector that you feel has your best interests at heart. And you'll be able to find that out just by talking with them when you reach out to them. Number one, I really love what I do. I have a passion for it. I'm not a spring chicken. I'm at a real seasoned age where I love to be able to communicate, and I love to be able to have my client at the inspection. If they're not at the inspection, then I kind of feel a little short because it's their home and they should want to know everything about that property. So a lot of times I insist that they be there. Normally, when I come to an inspection, I'm there an hour early. If I say 10 o'clock, I'm there at 9 o'clock, just doing the exterior of the property. So I'll do the exterior of the property. I take a lot of shots and I get myself comfortable. When you show up, then we'll do a summary around the house. We might go around that house 2 or 3 times. We go inside, we start at the top, we work our way down. Now, a lot of the things that I inspect, definitely the core, the heart of the home is your roof, your foundation, your plumbing, your electrical, the interior, the attic, crawl space, structure, appliances. So on my list, I've got roof, exterior, plumbing, heating, electrical, interior, attic, basement, crawl space, structure, appliances. But each one of those has several components. Like, for instance, let's say all rooms, or let's say the bathroom. The bathroom, I look for if the toilet is leaking, if the toilet is loose, the shower, fiberglass, plastic cracks, ceramic, the floors, any caulking. So each one of those, okay, for instance, again, bathroom, the kitchen, the windows, okay, if you might have casement windows. Those are the windows with the cranks. I don't really like the casement windows, but the casement windows are really good when it comes down to safety, because you got to crank the window open in order to open them. But when it comes down to the kids messing around with the cranks, sometimes they play around with the cranks. They can strip them. But casement windows are nice. You got the single of the double pane window. Sometimes if I'm doing an inspection and I'm looking at a double pane window and I see it foggy, that means the seal inside that double pane has been compromised. So that'll be on my report. I'll put a little red sticker there that'll remind me on what to say when I start doing my reports. So the basement, it's got a lot of things going on. If I can see, now this is a non-invasive, it's a visual inspection. And I have a keen eye, thank God, to be able to be trained to kind of see things that you probably might miss. And I'll be able to take a look at those things and I'll bring them out. But if the basement is fully finished, it's got the drywall that's around it, I can't see the parameters of the foundation wall. A lot of times when I see the foundation, some parts that's been finished, it's normally in the furnace area where the furnace is, hot water tank, main water shut off. Sometimes it might be in there, but normally the main water shut off is always on the street side in the front. So there's a variety of things that I really look for. My reports are pretty thorough. I get a lot of compliments from the attorney on how the pictures are lined up. Sorry, someone said something? Okay. Well, anyway, where the pictures are lined up, and it's like a still video. It'll tell the story. One of my main goals is for you not to call me, because the report is talking for itself. Now, at the time of the inspection, we're going over a lot of things. I'm saying certain things, and a lot of times, hopefully I try to line up what I'm saying that's on the report. Once I take those pictures, I have a big screen TV where I take a look at those shots. Sometimes I'm taking a shot at something and then God will show me something else that camera picked up that I have to make a comment on. So once you get that report, then that report is your Bible. And you can use it for a negotiating tool. You can use it for, it'll help you negotiate whatever happens or whatever's going on with that situation. Now, sometimes I'll ask a question like, is this property as is, or is it, the regular standard where they would, if something's broken, they'll fix it if it's on that list, on you guys' list that you put on what you want repair, or they give you credit. So right now I'm going to pause and just see if there's any questions that you might want to ask me right now, and it'll probably motivate me to think about something else that I should say. But is there any questions out there right now? Any questions?
You know what, Perry? I want to make a statement real quick, and then you could tell me about how you feel about this.
Okay.
Sometimes when people see they see the report, right?
Yes.
And the report scares them instead of informs them, right? Oh my God, they put this report. And then they go from one house and they get another report, and the pages can be quite long in there. Okay. Let's talk about that so they understand when they get that report, what are they really looking for?
Okay, so again, the heart of the home, the roof, your plumbing, your electrical, again, your foundation, your heating system. They should be looking at the heart. If it's a brick, then 9 times out of 10, when I'm looking exteriorly in a brick, I'm looking tuck pointing to see if the brick has been compromised, joint spaces, concrete moving, spalding, and they should be looking for that. Well, on the report. Now, on my report, as you know, I'm sure, I draw pictures Sometimes they're in, the majority of the times they're in red, but now I've decided to not alarm when it's in red. And I use those, the red sometimes, well, the majority of the times to show what you should be looking at. And then if there's in red, again, it's a comment that I'm gonna make that says there's a problem or there's a concern. So those are the things that you would be looking for. Now, if you're using my service and get a report, you're gonna see yellow and you're gonna see red. So if you see yellow, I'm just pointing to you to, if you don't know what a catch basin is, I might circle or point an arrow in yellow showing you that that's a catch basin. Sometimes a lot of times I take the lid off. I'll take a look inside the catch basin and see what the level is. So a lot of times you should just read the report. If you read the report and read the comments, for you, pictures are very important. For the attorney, they look at the summary. Sometimes they'll look at the pictures if they want to kind of figure out what I'm trying to say, or if an inspector, if he's trying to say something, they might look at where that, look at the picture, and the picture tells you the story. I mean, the picture shows it. If there's a 2-inch gap in the basement floor, and the comment says there's a 2-inch gap over by the drain, floor drain, and it needs to be repaired, then, you know, they coincide. So if I didn't clear that up, please, if you didn't understand or you need more, then please let me know. I'll try to answer that question. But the importance of it all is that report, the comments, and the pictures correlating, connecting with that comment. Because a lot of times, like I said, I'll make that picture, but underneath that picture, even sometimes on the picture, I might write a comment inside the picture itself, and then on the outside, I'll write a comment where you'll actually see notes. And I try to spill it out so that you can understand. Some inspectors, you know, they're saying repair and replace. I mean, okay, what are you repairing and what you're replacing? So, but I try to explain it where you understand what needs to be repaired or replaced. Did that help any?
Absolutely. That's really good, because in every single home, I've never seen a home, I don't care how well it was built from the ground up, didn't matter, that didn't have a checklist
Okay.
and some things to be repaired.
Okay.
Okay, I see somebody has a raised hand, Patricia Cooper.
Okay, I have a question. When you get the inspection report, and say if you want to negotiate like the repairs, if the repairs aren't like, say like if there's several repairs, but the repairs are not like tremendously outrageous, can you go in and just negotiate still for them to lower the price and you just do the repairs yourself?
Yeah, well, that's what the report is for. The report is to be able, this is a good one here. Though the seller really knows, I mean, if there's some obvious things that the seller really knows that he should repair, and it's on that report, he should repair it. If you don't want to repair it, he'll probably give you a credit or something like that, and that'll be able to help, like you just said, where you can fix it yourself. I look at problems. You know, a lot of times there's a cosmetic. I kind of bypass cosmetic or workmanship. You know, I might make a comment. Sometimes I'll make a comment about the poor workmanship. You know, they didn't prime and they painted over and you can kind of see or whatever. Those are cosmetic things, but I'm definitely going to zero in on those problems that actually jumps out at me. But yes, you can use, matter of fact, I think they have what they call a wish list. I use HomeGauge. That's my software. And I think once you get on and you get familiar with it, there's a list of things that you're a realtor and yourself going to get together and go over that report. And you guys going to make decisions on what you would like to have fixed. a lot of times my reports I've been getting where the seller has fixed everything. You know what I mean? Have did what he needed to do it based on the comments and the possibilities of what might happen if they don't fix it. You know what I mean? So I just got good results. I just thank God he's my boss. He's the one that's helping me do what I do. So that was a good question, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Anyone else? And definitely, again, if you go to my website, I'm serious, there's a wealth of information. And what I normally do, I put together an educational packet for all of my clients. It's very important, just like Ms. Wheatley says, you've got to be informative. You got to go in having the confidence in what you're doing. So my educational binder has a lot of good resources in one pouch. And then I have this Your House 101. And it has everything in it about the house: electrical, plumbing, heating, the electrical box, it has a variety, the structure, it has a lot of really good stuff in it. And if you really go through that book, by the time HVAC guy or construction guy come and start talking that language, I guarantee you, in that book, you're going to hear some of that language. You're going to say, oh, wow, okay, I know what you're talking about. And that's a really good thing. You know, you want the contractors, the electrician, whoever comes to that house to do any type of repairs once you get the house or whatever, just don't, you gotta take your time and get the right person. You know, you get your references, you talk to them, you can learn from one person. And by the time that second person come or that third person come, you've got a wealth of information on what he's saying. So I always tell the first time home buyer, when you're gonna fix something, you make sure you fix it right the first time. You get that receipt, you put that folder, put it in a good folder. You make sure you get it done right the first time, especially young people that get homes. I mean, even if you buy a new home, a new construction, there's gonna be something that comes up. So there's no perfect house. You just got to go in there with the right kind of attitude, right mindset. You've done your homework, and you'll be good to go.
Yes, we have another hand up, Miss Lewis.
Okay, Miss Lewis.
Yes, I was wanted to ask a question where it's a two-part question. Like when we do apply for real estate or whatever, and if we get approved of the loan, can we use that loan toward rehabbing the building for ourselves? And the other part of the question is, do you go and check those homes if we ask you to?
Well, if there's a re-inspection, then yeah, there's a re-inspection. I'll come back. It might be a small fee for me to come back, and then since it's my company, I could decide if I want to do that or not. But the second part was for me. The other part concerning monies and what you can do with it, that would be, I think, your decision, or you probably get a better answer from Miss Nicole on that, and you can chat that. I'm sure she'll put that out for you. But yes, when it comes down to once you have the home inspection and they fixed certain things, and yes, I will come back and make sure that it's that they did it correctly.
And one last question.
Add to your other question.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Miss Nicole, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to add to her question. So there's certain loan products that you get to purchase and rehab a home, right? Or there's certain financial institutions that may have programs like where we're going to be December 4th. They have a small program where you're able to get like $5,000 or $10,000 for small repairs. Sometimes you're not given that opportunity in most of the loan packages unless you're doing an FHA 203K loan, where you're able to buy it and rehab it. There's another program, it's called a TIF, T-I-F rehab program for homeowners, but they're in small pockets throughout the city in different places, very small pockets. But look that up when you get a chance. I don't have the email offhand, or I can have it for next week, but those are the only places really where you go and you get a purchase rehab loan. You have to talk to the lender about that and let them know that that's what you want to do up front. But if it's some of those small repairs, right, although we negotiate and may negotiate repair money for you, if we negotiate that repair money, I want people to understand something. You do not get a check at closing. Everybody say that with me. You do not get a check at closing. Look, I'm coming on camera to say that. You do not get a check at closing. What happens is that you get a credit line item on your side. You get a credit line item. So let's just say we negotiated $5,000 for you to get for closing cost credits, right? To help you, or we negotiated repair money. We're going to throw it into a bucket where they're going to pay you on your side. It is just a line item of money. Let's just say it's $5,000. $5,000 is sitting there. So if your bank told you, oh, you're going to need $12,000 to close, you're really going to need $7,000 because $5,000 is sitting there for you, right? They are not going to give you a check at closing and say, oh, here's this money. Now go make your repairs. It don't work like that. You're going to use your own money, but you're going to come out of less out of your pocket when it goes to closing. I really hope that I get that across because everybody always asks, oh, I'm getting a closing credit. Oh, they're going to give me some money for repairs. Oh, give me that money. But it's not going in your pocket. But it stays in your pocket because you don't have to spend your own cash. Does that make sense?
A lot of sense.
I hope they get that one. All right. I know, Alicia, you have a raised hand there?
Yes. So in my situation, I used to have a house, but it wasn't really mine. I had did the rent to own thing back in 2012, which I was renting a house for 7 years. I moved out of it in October of 2019. So I'm in an apartment now. But back then the house, I had really wanted it, but I think I didn't really do enough research on it, which I'm leaning towards you. Well, hey, what I didn't do, I didn't get no inspectors. I didn't get nobody for the house. So basically I just moved me and my sons into the house. And when we was in it, everything started going wrong. The roof started caving in. The mice was in the walls. You can hear them at night. The mold had started. I went in blind. How they say, blind unseen?
Yeah.
I went in blind unseen. So I moved me and my sons out back in 2019. But I did stay in the house for 7 years, and that's because my landlord I told them I wasn't going to buy the house from them no more. So to keep me in the house, they went down for my rent from being from $900 to $600 a month. So that's the only reason I stayed in. I was paying $600 for a whole house.
Were you saving that balance? Did she hear me?
What'd you say? I can hear you. I'm sorry.
I said, were you saving that balance of that 900 so you can get up out of there?
Yeah, I was.
All right, now.
That's how I wound up where I'm at now. I stay in Cicero.
Okay.
I like staying in Cicero, but I want a house out this way. And every time I'm walking somewhere, I see a lot of houses and 2 flats that's for sale.
Okay.
So my thing is now I'm to the point that I want another house, but I want to make sure that I get the right person to inspect before I just move in sight unseen again.
There you go. You see the hand, right?
Yeah.
Terry, make sure you throw your information into the chat for everybody.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Is there any other questions? If not, I mean,
We have one last question.
Okay.
Which is, what is the going rate for an inspection?
Okay, now that's a good question. It depends on this. It depends on the square footage. The lowest inspection is $475, and then it can go up. So depending on the square footage, if you got 2 flats, 3 flats, 4 flats, it varies. But the lowest is you can expect, you should put aside at least $600 put aside, you know, even if you don't spend it, but for a good home inspector, you should put that aside at least. So yeah, that would be the range. Now, I would like to, I mean, a mission statement is always good. Let me see. You said, Nicole, on the chat, I can put my information there. Okay. I think I know how to do that. Type that
And while
in.
you're doing that real quick, I know it's past the 7 o'clock hour, so I want to be respectful of the time for everything. So listen, Perry's putting his information into the chat. You guys have my information. If you have any questions, concerns, or thoughts, don't hesitate to reach out to us. I really want to thank the My Turn to Own organization, Mr. Don, Sister Africa, Chrissy Williams, all the wonderful people that work in this effort of going out to really push the power of home ownership, the purpose and the significance, and how you create wealth, build a legacy of love, help turn around your life and the lives of everyone else that is watching you, all because you went up at once to possess a piece of the land. It is important that we do it. And I know that this process doesn't appear to be the most simple, but remember, take it, pace yourself, do it step by step. Build yourself up, set up an affirmation on the side, visualize yourself being in the ideal home at the ideal price. Do not give up on the possibilities of the infinite possibilities of you thrusting forward into home ownership. And I just want to thank all of our partners for making that happen. I also want to thank Perry Brown for coming out. He provides a premier home inspection. He's going to, like my dad would say back in the day, he's going to look at it from the rooter to the tutor, right? That's how my dad always said. That's the thoroughness, looking at every single thing. He's going to make sure that every single thing gets done in that house and is analyzed and reviewed. These are parts you don't want to skip. Thank you so much, Perry. I know we need to turn it over to My Turn to Own. Perry, I can throw your stuff in the chat. Don't worry. I got you.
You know what, Miss Wheatley, I want to, of course, say thank you as well. You are truly everywhere. I was on the HUD call, the HUD certification call. It was from what time? I think from 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you was on there rocking and rolling as well. And it's just so comforting to know that you have such a great passion for what you do, that after the hours mean nothing to you, like whatsoever, just as long as your people are winning. And it feels so good to have someone that you interact with on a regular like that, and also someone that's on your team. So I just appreciate you for being you. Also the platform of amazing speakers tonight. We thank you so much for donating your time to My Turn to Own. It's nothing, information you'll learn today, it's not free. Somebody had to pay the penalty to find out the things that they know, and then to turn around and give it back to the community free of charge. That's such an honor. So thank you all, everyone that had a part on this call. Can we unmute Miss Otis? I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Last name Otis. Hold on.
Yes.
All right. Is she unmuted? Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yep. You there?
All right, perfect. Hi,
How you
Don.
doing? Hey, how you doing? Can I get you
Good,
to
how are
speak
you?
to us? Can I get you to speak to us for about a minute or two?
Sure. So I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Falavia Otis with My Legacy Credit. And I don't know if you all were on the call last week, but last week, Jamal and Don touched on the Fast Track program just a little bit. So I just wanted to kind of explain that program just really quickly. So basically, the Fast Track credit program is supposed to help you get your credit to where it needs to be to pre-qualify within 90 days. So I see that we did have a question that came in from Shanita Jackson. And she said that she got a call from My Turn to Own and was referred to a company called Debt Cleanse to help her with her credit get to 620. Is that a company we work with? So My Turn to Own does work with Debt Cleanse. It is a great company. They will get you to where you need to get in a certain amount of time. But if you're interested in the fast track program, we can get you there within 90 days. So if you are interested in getting your credit to where you need to be to pre-qualify within 90 days, I am going to put the information in the chat so that you'll know exactly who to reach out to and what times we're available to get you going.
Thank you so much, Ms. Otis. And one thing that I want to tell everyone, we're going to analyze, they're going to analyze your credit report. And, you know, there may be some things that they need to work on your behalf to massage a little bit. And they will surely be talking to you as soon as possible and getting back to you and letting you know what's the next steps. That's mainly about it. Did anyone else have anything that they want to share before we transitioned out, Miss Wheatley?
Yes, Don, I actually just put into the chat, I put a lot in the chat, so everybody could copy and paste all the information, but one of the most important things at the end that I put in there, because you'll get a lot of that other information, sign up now. There is limited seating for the upcoming housing trolley tour. All right.
Oh, that's gonna be exciting.
A home for the holiday, right?
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna have first of all, it's a decked out housing lit up Christmas tree trolley tour, right?
Wow.
But also in the place that we're going to be at, you will be able to work with a counselor right on site. You can get pre-approved on site. We're going to provide you with lunch. You're going to be able to go into different classes to learn about taxes. You're going to learn about all the stuff that you need to be successful in this process. And seats are limited, right? So make sure you please sign up. We're going to show you a vision and parts of the city that you didn't even imagine existed. All of this is free. We're going to be raffling off TVs and all kind of great things, all for you on December 4th, but you must sign up, because when we start doing our additional blasts that are going out on tomorrow and Friday, we went low. We only send out a little bit right now just to make sure that you guys will have an opportunity to participate. But we will be sending it out to massive individuals, and there's only room for 100 people. All right. Thank you.
Hey, Miss, and I don't think you said exactly what was the cost again.
Oh, it's absolutely free.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought
you don't pay it down. You're gonna eat, you're gonna learn, you're gonna grow. You can come in with your paperwork and get pre-approved. Listen, this is serious business. It's time to thrust forward. Put the fear behind you, put some faith in front of you, and move on.
Sounds good. The opportunity is there. We got 100 slots and they're going fast. So please take advantage of the link. I'm sure that they left it in the messages and sign up right away. And we'll see you there. Listen, thanks everybody for coming and jumping on a call this Wednesday. What we try to do, or what we've been trying to do, is we try to give a little bit of time, because we know people are getting off work and things of that nature. So we've been trying to give like a little 5-minute grace period, allowing people to get settled in and be able to jump on the call. Thank you, Miss Shanaze. Thank you, Miss Africa. Thank you, Miss Chrissy. Thank you, everybody at My Turn to Own. And also, we'd like to give a special thank you to Mr. Jamal Green, even though he's not able to be on the phone tonight. Listen, you all have a great night. Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, all that good stuff. And we're going to see you again next Wednesday. All right. All right. Good night.
All right. Good night.